Hey there, Libra fam. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining me for this tarot reading. I'm curious as to what kind of positive vibes you may have to look forward to in March of 2025. Here we go. All right, I've already pre-shuffled, so let's go ahead and begin with the archetypes as always. Let's cut that together. And I saw this while I was shuffling. It kind of jumped out, and apparently it meant it. The vision with the hunter on the bottom. Now, the vision tends to speak of we're born at a particular time and the path is going. But I feel like this not only speaks of an idea and a path, but that intuition, that not quite clairvoyant, but you know what I mean? That just feel like your intuition is really on point right now. And there's something in particular that you are just determined on. And you're feeling it with every fiber in your being, right? Now let's see about the Believe in Yourself Oracle deck. Phoenix, how's that for happily ever after? This has been quite a transition. Like, it's been that way for so many of us for a minute now, right? Just transformation and transitions and coming out of those flames like you're shaking the last of the ashes off of your wings, right? And on the bottom, we have the title card, Princess. You can be your own knight. You don't need somebody else to save you. You've got this, right? That's something that you've been learning and realizing more and more. Maybe you had time in your life where you felt that somebody else, you know, was going to come in and just enable everything to make sense, right? And recognizing you don't even need that, right? I keep saying it keeps coming to mind, like you didn't need those wings to fly, right? And that really seems to be a general theme for all of us these days, that, you know, it's always been within you. And all that life in the past has enabled you with, ultimately, for the rest of your life, is wisdom, resiliency, strength and courage that you just simply didn't have before. And now that that's back there, it's all good from here on out, fam. What about some clarification? I don't know. But we're going to go for it. Hey. I like to think of the tarot as its own story with those like the prologue. So let's see what chapter 1 is. The Six of Swords. So we're moving away from, you know, the choppy waters, the confusion, the turmoil. And we're taking all of that wisdom that we've gained and moving on, right? So whether these are different sides of yourself that are in this boat here, or there are people that if you're literally moving that you want to bring with you, right? Your family. What I'm feeling right now, and, you know, maybe it'll resonate, is that these are different sides of yourself. That your paternal instincts, whatever that means or looks like for you, right? That want to nurture and your compassion, right? But then also your inner child, right? There are elements deep within you that are getting that chance to heal, that you're embracing and moving on with, right? And because I'm really noticing this wand, the staff that the person in charge of where the boat's going is holding. So it's really speaking to me on that courage and passion and determination, your creativity that enables you, the clarity and the wisdom to know when it's time to move on, whether it's literal or figurative. There are elements of your life that you are propelling yourself forward and away from, right? What's chapter 2? The Page of Wands. So either you have a mystery, a message coming in that maybe from someone who's younger than you, that involves all of that, your creativity. Oh my goodness. What if that is what's going on? There's this new passion within you that you've been able to tap into, that has been able to come about because of that clarity, because you've been able to really like, oh, that's what the fuck, right? That's enabling you to move on into this new chapter, into this new experience, right? Because that's what that's about. It's like there's a message coming in for new adventures, right? This page looks at that wand like, what am I going to do with you now, right? I like to think of that because it's got this beautiful, clear background. I like to think of it as a blank canvas, right? What's next, fam? You're the one who gets to decide. Chapter 3, shall we? So maybe there's going to be some love. Maybe there's going to be some love. But what I like about this is the wands and the cups also both speak of creativity, right? So whether you're a painter, a singer, dancer, whatever your passions are, March is a great month for that, right? You have some messages coming in. This horse, I like to think of as kind of like prancing around, right? They're so excited. Like, but at the same time, I don't think they're really, I feel like this night is kind of like, it's gone out to meet up with you, to like meet you halfway. And now that you've reached this point, you've reached them. You've reached that point. And now you have the fact that we have a page and a knight, there's definitely an incredible message coming in, right? But, you know, the cups, it's not just about love with others. It's also about self-love. Knowing how to fill your own cup so that it's never half empty, right? It's all about perspective, right? And when we're able to love one another, when we're able to love ourselves, it just emanates, right? It's not like that stereotypical narcissism where, you know, everything has to be about you. No, that's not what self-care is. And I feel like you've been able to figure that out. Like, oh, okay, it's not selfish. It's not stereotypical. It's necessary for all of us, right? And chapter 4, the Queen of Swords. That's what I'm talking about. I like to say that the King and the Queen of Swords have, you know, they've not only been there and done that like the rest of the kings and queens of their suits. They are really good at friendly debate. Like, really good at friendly debate. They don't get over emotional. They don't get confused. They don't get bogged down by the points the other person's making. They can hear other opinions and be like, all right, cool. I will take that into consideration. You know what I mean? The Queen of Swords, she's holding that up, and that's one of the 3 swords in the entire deck where the sword goes straight up. Unwavering. They're very sure of themselves and able to help others without losing themselves in it, able to not only hear the opinions, but take care of an entire kingdom without sacrificing themselves, and understanding that with great power comes great responsibility without getting bogged down in the pressure of it all, right? What's going to come up underneath that Six of Swords? Let's see. Looks like March is a great month for you. This is the wish fulfillment card, fam. This is everything coming to fruition. All of those manifestations, all of the wishes, everything that you've been longing for. And the fact that it's coming up underneath the Six of Swords, it's like, just like what I was saying with these two. It's like, now that you've reached this point, here we go. Right? And what's going to come up underneath that Page of Wands? It's the Seven of Wands. You may be feeling like you have to defend yourself, right? Like there are people who don't understand and they're questioning you, and they don't need to understand, fam. Maybe it's none of their dang business, right? You have every right to do your own thing. This is your path. This isn't the time to give up and defer. This is the time to stick to it and follow through. This is your life, and you are always on the right path, right? When you are literally on top of the world, who are you answering to exactly? I mean, really, right? What's going to come? Okay, and the message, the fact that it's coming up underneath the Page of Wands. Like, I really feel like your passions, your drive, your creativity, there are those who are questioning it. And you just, it's okay. Leave them wanting. Leave them confused. It's fine, right? Or is that person picking up the wand to toss it out on into the Eight of Wands? I don't know. What's going to come up underneath that Knight of Cups? The Knight of Swords. Now we're talking about some speed, fam. The Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the entire tarot. That's a matter of hours. That's a matter of a day. That you have a message coming in that is really going to make things clear for you. That, and the fact that these two knights are coming up together, that could be about a message of love. Maybe someone who wants to work with you, right? Maybe you're an artist and someone wants to set you up for, you know, to have a run in their gallery. I don't know, right? But it can also mean, like, with your clarity, with your wisdom gained, there's no confusion, there's no wavering. You are going out there and you are determined. You know exactly what you're doing, and you know that you don't need anybody else's permission, right? But also the fact that we can't see the tip of that sword, that this is, what, the only freaking card in the entire deck where we don't see the full length of the sword. It's kind of like it's going up into the heavens, right? So it's speaking like on, like, even more so on that intuition, right? Yeah. What's coming up underneath the Queen of Swords? It's the Hermit card. But again, we have a staff. Damn, my goodness. Okay, so we have these two, right? And then we have this homie, like, picking it up. And then we got this Hermit. The Hermit goes up into the mountain and, like, is shutting out the world. You know what I mean? Getting all of those distractions, other people's voices and opinions the heck out. And the fact that it's coming up underneath the Queen of Swords, this is the clarity that you've been needing. And you know what you need to do. You know what your soul needs to be able to clear out all the distractions, the brainwashing, the whatever the heck, you know, from the things that we grow up on, whether it's from our families, religions that were taught that we just, when you're a kid, what choice do you really have, right? And also the things that we see in TV and in movies and other people doing, like, The Hermit is also led. There's a star inside there. That light within yourself, your soul, your consciousness, what truly matters to you is what's going to, your hopes, your dreams, the things that sustain you, that make your soul purr. And you're willing to take a step away from everything to figure that out for yourself. I think that we all should from time to time. You don't have to abandon people, right? But you need to, I feel like every now and then my stomach keeps growling. I'm sorry if you can hear that, but I'm also taking it as confirmation. I feel like my blood sugar just dropped. I feel like we all need to do that from time to time. Just kind of cocoon ourselves and just make sure, like, why do I react this way? Why do I like the things that I like? Like, do I still like them? Or am I just, you know, the mundane has just been allowed to take over and nah, right? Just make sure you're still being true to yourself, right? And not the pressures of others, okay? What's the epilogue to this tale? The Five of Pentacles. When we have black backgrounds in this Rider-Waite Smith deck, that tends to speak of dark nights of the soul, depression, mourning with you, right? And the thing about this, though, is if you're concerned about money, because these two coming up in the same reading, right? Whatever it is in this material realm, because the pentacles are the earth, that is everything. Everything that sustains us. Those seeds that we plant, right? The garden we cultivate. If you're feeling lack and thinking about lack and experiencing FOMO and you can't start, you just keep looping it, then that's what you're emanating rather than good shit like this, right? But the flip side to that is they're not crouched underneath this window, are they? They're in movement. They're moving forward, moving on. They have not given up yet. And I really want you to tap into that this month. That determination, right? I like to imagine that there's a door over here, and that's what they're going to, right? Yeah. What's on the bottom of the deck? I tend to think of the bottom of the deck, if I haven't already mentioned that, as the main gist, the main vibe of the reading. And that's the Death card, fam. Transformation. The battle's done. Who are you fighting now? You've moved on from that side, that way of life, that way of existing. You need to get out of crash position. You know how to survive. You know how to handle things accordingly. So why are you still in survival mode? Sometimes you wouldn't think so, like when you really look at it, it's like, why would I feel comfortable with my cortisol levels this high, with all this stress and everything? But it's life as you've known it. Can you? That was the silliest. First of all, I'm sorry. But second of all, confirmation. And you've got this. You had an entire reading reminding you that you've got this, right? You don't need anyone else to save you. You don't need some white knight on their white horse. Nah, you've got this. you know exactly what you're doing. Exactly. You know it because you have been ruminating. You've been meditating, like trying to really figure it out. So you need to trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself and retrain your subconscious on how to be kind to you, how to speak to yourself with love, right? Set those boundaries and respect them yourself. Don't take crap from anyone because you don't need to. You don't deserve it. You know who you are, right? Let's see what the extra notes are for this round. This one wants to be seen, so fine. That's badass. Hey, you've got this. That's what I'm saying. Clean house. Literally. You know, it's kind of, okay, there we go. There's certain aspects in your actual home where you're living, right? When my cousins or whoever like to kind of give me a hard time about whatever, it's like, bitch, you need to do your dishes before you look at me, before you start telling me how to freaking do whatever the heck, right? You know what I mean? Like, maybe you've come out of a really severe depression, right? And you just need to do your dishes. You need to get some vacuuming. You need to open up those windows and let some fresh air in. You need to clean house. Maybe that's speaking on your friends, the people, whomever you've had surrounding you that are very negative and toxic. And you need to clean house. On the bottom of this is lit a fire under your ass, didn't it? Okay, so maybe you've already received that message. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about and you've already received it. And you're kind of like, all right, let's go. It's go time, fam. Either way, fam, you have some incredible messages coming in. We have 2 knights and a page of wands. So this is tapping into not only your intuition and your wisdom gained, because we do have 3 swords, but it's your heart, your emotions, love, self-love, and all of these hopes and dreams that you've been trying to manifest that have been guiding you through these dark nights. And you're doing it, fam. You're doing the thing. You trust that. I feel like that is the general theme for so many of us right now. That we're learning better than ever how to trust ourselves. What's best for us, not what other people tell us, but what we know, right? Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, fam. Thank you for sticking around the whole time and keeping me company. I really appreciate it. And always remember, I love you.